Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. Truthfulness is a quality that the companions knew all too well. In fact, some of them said that by Allah, we didn't used to lie at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, rather we didn't even know what lying happened to be. So this was a quality that was within the companions. This was a quality that was known to the companions. In fact, this was also a quality that was known to people who happened to be non-Muslims at that time, just because humanhood and chivalry dictates it, just because nobility dictates it. And the Arabs of that time, they took great pride in the fact that they are noble people, even if they don't happen to be righteous, and even if they don't happen to be people of God. So they wouldn't lie. They felt like lying was beneath them. But slowly but surely, as society, the values within society dwindled, lying began to become a prevalent practice within society. And lying is a serious sin. In fact, it is a major sin. It is one of the major sins. And just as lying is evil as lying is, truthfulness is just that good. Allah wants you to speak the truth, and as He told us in the Quran, not only that, be with the people of truth as well. As He says in the Quran, Kunu ma'as sadiqeen, be with the people who happen to be truthful. My dear brother, my dear sister, the Messenger ﷺ told us in a beautiful hadith. He said that truthfulness guides. So if you want guidance within this life, then you want to be truthful. The more you are honest, the more Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless your heart. The more Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give light to your heart. The more Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will illuminate your heart. If you want that light from Allah Azza wa Jal, which will grant you direction, then truthfulness is the way for that. Then truth and honesty is the policy that you have to adapt within your life, and that you have to adopt within your life as well. The Messenger ﷺ said, be honest. Inna sidqa yahdi ila al-birr. Honesty is going to guide you to righteousness, and righteousness will guide you to Jannah. And a man continues to be honest until he is written in the scrolls of Allah Azza wa Jal as an honest individual, as a Siddiq. He's granted that high status of being a person who is ever honest, who is continuously honest, who is not a liar. Likewise, the Messenger ﷺ said on the flip side, that a person who lies, he said, وَإِنَّ الْكَذِبَ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْفُجُورِ. Lying ends up leading you to sin. So truthfulness is the door of righteousness, and lies are the door of evil. And the Messenger continued and he said, وَإِنَّ الْفُجُورَ يَهْدِي إِلَى النَّارِ. Lying leads to sin, and sin leads to the hellfire. And a person continues to lie until he is known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a kadhab, as a person who is a regular and compulsive liar. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from the station that we have just mentioned, and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the station of Siddiqiyya, that we are people of honesty and integrity. Integrity dictates that we are honest people, and honest people are people of integrity. Nobility dictates that we are people of truth, and truthful people are usually noble. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us all of those qualities and more. And my dear brother, my dear sister, recognize that the only way you'll be able to be honest with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is if you're honest with the creation of Allah. And the only way you'll be able to be honest with the creation of Allah is if you're honest with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because the quality of developing honesty within yourself is that same quality that you require in your relationship with Allah, and also your relationship with the people. And that's why the Messenger ﷺ, he said, خِيَارُكُمْ فِي الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ خِيَارُكُمْ فِي الْإِسْلَامِ. The best of you within the early times, within the times of Jahiliyyah, within the pre-Islamic times, and in our times we would say the best of you before Islam are the best of you after Islam. How so and why so? Well, if you have the qualities that it takes for you to be a good person generally, then when you deal with Allah Azza wa Jal, you will have that quality to also be good within your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you can be honest with the creation of Allah, you can be honest with Allah. If you're honest with Allah, you'll naturally be honest with the creation of Allah, because you know that al-khalqu iyalullah, the creation happened to be but the people who are in need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to always keep us in need of Him and no one but Him. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.